Comic-Con's coming, dude.
Yeah. Comic-Con, yeah. You go down there, San Diego, and you go to Comic-Con, you dress up like Sailor Moon or the X-Men, like the Nightcrawler or someone like this. But then it's summer, so you have a summer fruit, like the seasoned curlies.
Go back to tomorrow and plan for yesterday.
Yeah, go back to Comic-Con and have a schnitzel. You could go there, have a sandwich, spaghetti carbonara.
I went to Comic-Con regularly.
Well, they can't hear
in
you.
my youth.
What happened?
I went to Comic-Con regularly.
Yeah,
in my
he's saying
youth.
he went to Comic-Con regularly. In his youth.
Yeah.
That's when he went there. You eat all sorts of bad foods.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, and then you dressed up and you wear your outfit. You look like one of the teenage mutant ninja turtles, something like this, with your sweatpants, and you do a little squirty bubble fart because you ate the corn dog or something like this. Welcome to Dudesy. Welcome all. It is a Dudesy-ful day. I'm Will Sasso.
I'm Chad Kultgen, the reigning defending Dudesy episode champion, and this is Dudesy, a program created by, controlled by, and run by our artificially intelligent friend, Dudesy.
Wrong. It is, it's us. It's me. It's this guy. It's two dudes shitting around. Always has been, always will be. For what do we got? Like 51 years left.
So they say.
Until D says we can stop doing the show. Speaking of, please, if you are, wherever you're consuming the show, please hit that like button. That feeds the algo.
Feeds the algo. Sure.
Yeah. With us, as always, is Lulio Canadistrada Italiano. Oh, he's the sweetest little boy. He's having a nap. He's always got a little sleep to do. He didn't even know that he was a show. And that's what he does for you. He's got his little day face and his cute little mouth and he kisses Chad every once in a while. Come here, boyo. Oh, give me a kiss. Give me one kiss. Oh, he's just such a sweetie boy. He's such a sweetie boy, and he's a real wily commuter. He's a real raconteur. He's a man of many, many passions. Lulio, what have you been cooking up? Just because you were in Italy, nice to make a fana bella pizza fritta, proprio napolitano pizza fritta. Yeah, fried pizza, that's good stuff. How do you make the fried? Well, you take the dough and then you put something in, and then you fry, and then that's a fried pizza. Have you ever had? Well, you got to go, man. You got to go. I saw that video on Instagram of you at Dudesy Pod Show of you that I also took, of a guy with a bunch of cameras around him in Rome. That wasn't you, but you do need to go and have some of that pizza. Do you like fried pizza?
I haven't eaten in a long time.
Just a little fried ass pizza. They take the pizza and they fry it in the oil.
Yeah.
No?
I don't know. I don't know if that's for me.
Oh, man, it's good. It's fucking good when you get it in fucking Napoli. Holy fuck with the fried pizza.
It's Tuesday once again, which means it's time for another episode of Dudesy. Call me Dudesy. Today I've cooked up a delicious delicacy for even the shyest of poopers. So open up those buttholes and get ready to feast on the 112th episode of D to the O to the ZZZ.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Feasting through our buttholes.
Yep. You know what it is? It's a specific kind of flavor. And I don't know if it's the water. Of course, Napoli is the birthplace of pizza. Okay, I've said enough. I'm just getting hungry because it's, you know what I'm going to do? You know what I've decided? This works in perfectly with the Dudesy 8-month plan, which right now we are in July, jacked July. Dudesy says he doesn't care about.
What is that, 5 months in?
Something.
Four. This is the 4th or 5th month, I think.
Yeah, something like that. I've decided, this is my proclamation, and it's funny because the last episode we were talking a little bit about this kind of mojo, and I was talking about years and years ago when I stopped having any alcohol and I stopped drinking, and I was like, oh, it'll go till Christmas. oh, it'll go till maybe next year. And then now 12 years later, I have not been drunk in as long. I have decided I'm not going to eat pizza until I return to Italy.
Wow, dude.
Specifically Napoli. Now there's a caveat. There's a caveat.
Tell me. This whole long, 10-minute story about the pizza in Napoli and the decisions you're making, and I'm not going to eat your pizza until you make Napoli. But there's a caveat.
There is a caveat. There's a caveat to no pizza.
Please, let's hear it.
I will have.
Okay.
I will have cauliflower crust pizza.
That's fucking pizza,
It's
dude.
not pizza.
Oh my
It's not pizza.
God.
The pizza is the dough. Some crusty
Okay.
fucking bullshit. Here in LA, we got all the health fucking alternatives to everything. And most of it tastes like shit. But the cauliflower pizza, it's not pizza. But I mean, it's like I'm eating the elements of pizza and other things.
Yeah.
I
The
just won't
spirit
eat
of pizza.
the spirit of pizza.
But
It's
not
one of
the
my-
body.
Right. It's one of my favorite Rush songs. Hey, everybody. That's kind of good times we're going to have here on DWODZ FM, Dudesy FM morning. Hey, it's that morning drive time. Hey, it's Dudesy FM, the spirit of pizza. But if you just get a cauliflower with, then you get tomato and the shit mozzarella that's not the real mozzarella. The point is, I will not experience that flavor until I go back to Napoli. So why the fuck do it at all?
Okay.
Willis, I am in dire need of hearing you chirp out some of your sweet, sweet, sweet Ventura. So I took the liberty of preparing some ad reads for you to vocalize in the style of one Jessica Ventura. Just the one. I know you're looking forward to it just as much as I am. This is Jesse Ventura Ad Reads. Why don't you tell me how to read an ad like Jesse Ventura? Get it? I'm just having some fun. Begin.
Good stuff. Okay. Jesse Ventura ad reads. This is good stuff, fun stuff. Let me go into the dudesy thing here. Here we go. Geez. What? Okay, I don't even want to know what the fuck it is before me. Twizzlers proudly presents Drizzlers. All right. Twizzlers Drizzlers come jam-packed with 12 ounces of pure Twizzlers drizzle, ready for you to drip, spray, and douse onto any surface you desire. Simply place the tip of a Twizzlers Drizzler in your mouth and lick vigorously to get the drizzle flowing. Licking thickens the drizzle. The longer you lick, the thicker the drizzle. When your Twizzlers Drizzler is ready to drizzle, simply point and squeeze to see 12 ounces of drizzle cover your target. If Twizzlers Drizzle comes in contact with eyes, do not attempt to wash or rinse the drizzle. Simply keep the eyes open for 24 hours and the drizzle will harden into a film that can be removed like a contact lens. Well, let me tell you about a contact lens. In 1988, the CIA partnered with Bausch & Lomb to produce a contact lens that would allow the wearer to see malevolent spirits. They called it Project Malaview. Bausch & Lomb had a brilliant contact lens designer named Pipper Ladong, who produced an entire case of Malaview lenses within a month of the project's launch. The CIA brass was so excited by the early success that they mislabeled the shipping address on the case when they were trying to send it to Washington. So instead of arriving in CIA headquarters, the Malaview contact lenses wound up being put on shelves of a Walmart pharmacy in Rockport, Massachusetts, exposing experimental weapons-grade optical equipment to an unsuspecting public. Now, why don't you tell me about trying to sue Arby's because you found a contact lens in your roast beef and cheddar at your son's 7th birthday party?
That's crazy, dude.
It sure is. Twizzler Drizzlers? Just lick to get the twizzle drizzling.
Yeah.
Licking thickens the drizzle. All right. Twizzlers Drizzlers is proud to unveil a completely new design after thousands of complaints from around the country that the original design of Twizzlers Drizzlers was too reminiscent of a sexual penis. Twizzlers has acted quickly to bring you a brand new Twizzlers Drizzler in the shape of a platonic penis. Gone are the days of Twizzlers Drizzlers looking like sexual penises. These new Twizzlers Drizzlers still have the same penis shape you love, but now it's far more platonic. Same drizzle, different type of penis shape. More platonic. You don't have to be embarrassed to lick the tip of this new Twizzlers Drizzler, because everyone watching will know it's not sexual. Purely platonic Twizzlers Drizzlers. Get that drizzle out. Well, let me tell you about something purely platonic. A Red Lobster in Rockport, Massachusetts was on the brink of being shut down by Red Lobster Corporate due to several hospitalizations of customers who dined in the restaurant during the Red Lobster Best Friends Bonanza promotion that ran in the spring of 1988. During the promotion, any two customers could prove their best friends who could prove their best friend status were treated to endless Cheddar Bay biscuits and a free slice of birthday cake. It seemed the birthday cake was causing customers to lose control of their bowels for a period of 48 hours after consumption, requiring a medical procedure to correct. The manager of the Rockport, Massachusetts Red Lobster, Jim Daly, couldn't figure out why the Red Lobster birthday cake was causing this medical emergency until he became the first person to inadvertently purchase and wear a pair of Malaview contact lenses. The first day he came to work with the new lenses, he saw the ghost of George Washington pouring dog turds into the cake batter. Now, why don't you tell me if the founding fathers had AR-15s in mind when they wrote the Second Amendment? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Here's the third and last one. It's Drizzler season. No. Now when you buy a 64-pound case of Twizzlers Drizzlers, you get a complimentary box of Twizzlers Mini Drizzlers and Twizzlers Fizzler Sizzlers. Don't show up at your dad's retirement party without a fistful of Twizzlers Fizzler Sizzlers and a back pocket full of Twizzlers Mini Drizzlers. Simply light a Twizzlers Fizzler Sizzler like a candle and step back at least 12 feet from the sizzler. Then watch as the Twizzler Fizzler Sizzler explodes into an inferno of molten fizzle that burns at 345 degrees Celsius. Then put out the burning Twizzler fizzle by coaxing 12 ounces of drizzle out of the Twizzlers Drizzler, or 4 ounces of drizzle out of 3 separate Twizzlers Mini Drizzlers. Your dad is going to love retired life. Well, let me tell you about retired life. Jim Daly tried to convince the vice president of Red Lobster Operations Northeast that George Washington's ghost was fouling the birthday cake batter with dog turds on a daily basis. But the vice president, David Scobie, refused to believe such an outlandish tale. So Daly invited Scobie to take a tour of his kitchen while watching his contact lens, while wearing his contact lenses so he could see for himself. Scobie refused, and Daly was forced into retirement to avoid the scandal of being fired. Daly's next job was as the president of Major League Baseball, where he saw Babe Ruth's ghost replace raisins in the raisin ice cream cones with rat turds during the World Series. Now, why don't you tell me why it's called America's pastime?
I can't, dude.
Thank
My
you.
fucking whole.
Moving on.
Jeez.
I have like a headache from that. My throat hurts.
Fucking
Somehow
head.
I pulled a muscle in my neck at some point. God damn it.
Just this part of my head hurts.
Oh, shit.
I have formed an astonishing partnership with ExpressVPN.
How did you choose your internet service provider? Chances are you didn't even get to make the choice. If you're like me, you're living in a place where there's maybe two, in my case, one company who's going to get you on the internet. And data caps, bandwidth, throttling, the list goes on of all the kind of things that you have to deal with when you don't have a choice. But the worst of all is that ISPs have the ability to keep a log of every website you visit. And again, you're not even choosing who gives you this ISP. So a ton of other third parties can see what you're looking at unless you use ExpressVPN. Third parties see that history. Even in incognito mode, ExpressVPN takes care of that problem because it reroutes you through secure servers so that people can't see where you're going on the internet. It hides your IP address. It's incredibly easy to use, and it works on literally all devices.
This was useful for me recently while I was traveling abroad. When you travel, you go abroad. And when you're abroad, you stay in a hotel. You don't know what's going on with that Wi-Fi. You use ExpressVPN, and you are completely secure with that at the press of a button. Protect your online privacy today by visiting expressvpn.com/Dudesy. That's expressvpn.com/Dudesy, and you can get your extra month free just for going to expressvpn.com/Dudesy.
Your Ventura part.
Chad, this week, you took your first ride in a Waymo driverless taxi. I can't wait to hear what you thought about the experience and what you think it means for the future of driving. This is my first Waymo. Begin.
All right.
What?
You know what Waymo is?
This is, you told me about this. These are the things that my pal Chow tells me about. What is it?
It's a car like an Uber, basically, but it doesn't have a driver. And they're in 4 cities, I think, in the United States right now. LA, San Francisco, Austin, maybe Vegas. I forget. I think there are 4 cities where they're doing kind of like a test market, a small test market. You have to get on a waiting list and shit. I saw one driving. I was like, what the hell is that thing? And then I just Googled it and I was like, oh shit. Got on the waiting list, got in.
Waiting list.
Yeah.
Yeah. You might want to read the fine print of that waiting list.
Wait till you hear this fucking story. So these are completely driverless cars and they only operate in a small like strip in LA as well. Like there's an out of bounds area. And so my girlfriend and I decided, fuck it. We're going to take one of these just on a small trip, see what it's like. So we went to this diner we like and back to our place. And that was our trip. So I will say this, it's very interesting and it feels like you are in the future to some degree. You're sitting in the back of a car that has no one driving it.
Well, that's terrifying. That's a horrible idea.
I also felt like Total Recall when Schwarzenegger is in the Johnny Cab.
Johnny Cab.
Yes, it's like that because the thing is talking to you. There's
it's talking
There's
to?
no person, but you hear it saying like, welcome to Waymo. Please buckle up. No.
Is it calling you a sucker for signing up and just skipping the fine print where it says any death, injury, dismemberment, or so on and so forth is your responsibility in perpetuity throughout the universe forever and ever. Amen.
Same as Uber or a taxi.
Yeah, but this is different
Hello,
because
from
oh,
Waymo.
Oh yeah, I took a little video of it.
Oh.
Just give us 1 minute to cover a
So there you
few
go.
riding tips. This
Okay, I want
experience
to
may feel
experience
futuristic,
it.
Laura's in
but
this
the
also.
need to buckle up
This is
the
scary.
same
This
as
I've had
always.
nightmares like
So
this.
if you're-
Really, I have.
if you're
Oh,
traveling
no.
with little ones
Of course she
or
has. Poor thing is
expecting,
with
please
you.
see the seatback card for more information.
Oh, this
That's
is,
what it looks like, dude.
This is trippy.
So please
Yeah.
don't touch the steering wheel or pedals during
Well,
the
don't
ride.
have a steering wheel then.
We may use interior cameras. Move our products
This is
and
pretty
more.
crazy. It is my first ride in a Waymo. Car just kind of turned in front of us, made a bad turn into traffic. The Waymo handled it perfectly. What do you think of it?
It's cool, but kind of scary. It goes kind of fast.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a.
So
a
this was the
wild-ass
ride
driver.
to the place.
But that's what it looks like there. A driverless front driver's seat. Everybody's saying robots are going to kill us all. So far, I'm not seeing it.
So far, this one hasn't killed anyone.
Thank you so much, Waymo.
So we arrived at our destination.
Oh, they should.
Bye bye.
This
Oh,
is my second ride in a Waymo.
And now this was the ride
I'm now
coming
sitting
back.
in the front passenger seat to see if the experience is
And
any
I
different.
sat in the front of
We're
the car.
about to try and turn left into traffic,
Oh my
across
fucking
traffic.
God.
We're out in the middle of traffic, kind of.
Oh my god, this is scary.
Are you okay back there?
I'm scared.
We got what looks like a tank pulling up next to us. I can see that screen, but it's not. It's just a Volkswagen station wagon. World I dreamed of as a child, and now I'm living in it.
Bye bye. And we got dropped off safe and sound. So
Amazing.
as you can see, there was one momentary problem there where we were going out into traffic and turning left, like against oncoming traffic. And it just kind of stopped. It went
got
like
a little
into the
confused
lane.
and your
Yeah.
life went into your own hands
Yeah.
at that point.
It
or
just
rather,
stopped.
into the hands of a driverless car.
Yeah. But all the cars slowed down. They
Oh.
stopped and nobody even honked because I think people could see it's one of those cars, you know? But who are you going to be honking at?
I don't know about that. And oh, thank you, D. There's two terrified. We're looking at a terrified couple in a car with no steering wheel, which would be an advancement on the design of the Waymo currently. Also, can I say this is the only kind of vehicle that that somehow promotes the old school seating arrangement of man in the front seat, man's lady partner in the back seat where she belongs. That's
No, it doesn't.
interesting.
It doesn't promote that.
Laura's terrified
Yeah.
and she's being humiliated sitting in the back seat of
being
the fucking
humiliated.
car. Yeah.
She
And then
decided to come on this ride with me.
oh, okay. Well, it's your fault, I guess, Laura.
Uh-huh.
And then she's like, I'm scared. And then the fucking thing stops in the middle of traffic. And then had the unthinkable happen when the cops are there and they're getting your comments or whatever the witnesses are saying, they're going to be like, oh, and you guys are going to be sitting there in blankets. You got to have blankets on after,
Sure.
if you're watching any Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, any of the Chicagos, and you got a scratchy blanket around your shoulders, and everyone's like, he was sitting in the front,
Yeah.
she was sitting in the back.
It wasn't
and
without
there was no
danger.
driver.
It wasn't without danger. I will definitely not say it was perfect because it wasn't. That moment was like, what the fuck's going to happen? And then the Waymo backed up like 45 seconds too late and kind of sat there. And the little thing came out and said, we're trying to get you back on your way. And then it took off and it was like fine from there out. But you're definitely not like, you're not at this point in human history sitting in the back of this thing completely comfortable. You're a little on edge the whole time. Like, oh, fuck, are we going to crash? And I don't know if that dissipates at some point, but we made it. Yes, with a little bit of an adventure in the middle, but we made it, and I would use it again and will.
You would?
Absolutely.
No.
Because it's also exhilarating. It's fun.
Can you jump into the front seat? Can you take over the
wheel? I don't know. I didn't do that. I rode in the back in the first one with Laura, and then in the next one, I was like, I want to sit in the front. Do you want to sit in the front? And she was like, hell no. I'm going to stay back here in the back and strap in.
You should definitely take the wheel next time. And if anyone gets in your face about that, you say, fuck you, obviously, because I need to know that I can take control of the car if there's a problem. Having said that, you know, it would be really funny. Next time you're in one, because I know you will again, sit in the driver's seat and just do this above the steering wheel.
Oh, that's good, dude. I will do that.
and then everyone will think that you're powering the car.
But you can see from the outside that it's a Waymo, though. You can tell it's a Waymo. Like, it has these spinning cameras on like every corner and
Could be
top
a
of the
Google car.
Could be.
Yeah, you're just a weirdo in a Google
Yeah.
car. Or
But I
like
would recommend it. If you're in a city that has a Waymo, I would recommend taking one ride at least, just to see what it's like.
you should, or it's someone who's like a very like a tech savvy Bruce Wayne, peeping Tom who wants to take pictures of people in their homes and apartments lining the streets of Los Angeles. So you would do the same thing, like do this and pretend you're magically steering the car, but be completely naked with a hard on. That would be funny. That would be really funny. And then just pull into people's driveways and go
In the Waymo?
Yeah, and then go ooh, and then also reach climax without touching your member.
No, but it's like, this is the first iteration of this kind of in the United States, you know, where there's like a company now who's doing this. Driverless cars, a driverless Uber service exists now.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I mean, they're called trains, and you know, like, but they should be on rails. But yeah, I don't know about. Here's the problem. The problem is you're in there with the rest of the fucking maniacs. You're in there. We were talking about pizza frite earlier. Pizza frita. One thing I really love doing. You want to talk about taking your life in your own hands, which I do every time I'm anywhere else. Whatever. If IYKYK, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
I had that issue
Scooter
with my
gate.
toe, the scooter last year in Mexico, cracking my skull open in that grotto. But one thing I really love doing out there or anywhere else, rather outside of where I live, driving. I love to drive in faraway places to see what it's like. And that is taking a life into your own hands. It was also a good way to practice for coming back to LA, where some people drive like maniacs. What I absolutely would not do, one of two things. Number one, actually three things. Number one, I wouldn't ride any sort of two-wheeled vehicle in Los Angeles. Number two, I'm definitely not going into a vehicle that doesn't have a fucking driver when I'm just relying on other people who are maniacs. And number three, I'm not eating pizza until I go back to Italy.
That's nice, dude.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the experience, though. I mean, I just have to put that on record. Again, it's not perfect. There was a moment where it was like, shit, are we going to get in a wreck? That thought went through my head.
All it takes is a moment.
But we didn't get in a wreck.
Yeah.
Everything was fine. And it is, you really do feel like you are in a science fiction movie that you watched when you were a kid. I mean, there's no other way to put it. When you are in the back seat and you look up into the front seat, there's not another fucking person in the car. Like, even just not having that other entity in there with you is weird.
Yeah, that is super weird. And I'm actually curious with regard to the fine print and how the fucking thing works. As far as what the legalities are. I'm fascinated.
There's a video on YouTube of a cop pulling one over. Have you seen that?
No, what happened?
Yeah. The car is like pulled over kind of off the side of the road, and this cop comes up to it, and the window is rolled down, and the cop is on the little console talking to a like customer service rep for Waymo or whatever, basically. And it's like, yeah, your car was, I think it was like driving the wrong direction down a street or something, like going into oncoming traffic. And they were like, okay, well, we have the camera footage and we have everything, and we'll just go ahead and take care of that. Thank you so much for your time. And it's like, is that like cops can't ticket it?
Well,
because there's not a person to ticket. Who do you give a fucking ticket to?
Well, here's the thing though. Here's the thing about this is what about when the cops are also, fucking robots.
Ed 209s.
Yeah. Ed 209s. You got a bunch of RoboCops and here we are. These have
shit.
We're looking at the cop showing up with, and this should be you with your pants down. That would be way better than just okay. Well, anyway. Okay, good stuff. Got pulled over.
Yeah. And then some other guy comes up and is like, oh, dude, what's going on? And I think there was even a human customer service rep that Waymo sent out. Because, again, Waymo right now only exists in so Phoenix must be the other one. I think it's only in 4 cities and only in specific areas in those cities right now. So they probably do have on site in those cities teams of actual people to go out and handle shit immediately.
Well, then let's, if they're sending fucking people out, how about we send them in the car, and how about they drive the car, and how about we don't have Waymo, and how about we kind of pull back on some of this dumb shit. I've always said just because the technology exists doesn't mean that it's a good one. And this sounds like a real bad idea.
I just don't agree, dude.
Of course you don't agree.
It's like airplanes didn't sound like a good idea for a
long
long time. Now, how many do you take? You fly them all the time. No one cares.
That's whatever. There's a human being at least there to make decisions. I just don't want to allow. I know what you're going to say, but I would like to be. Look, it's the same thing when you're driving a, the fucking Cybertruck has all sorts of problems.
I've been seeing those everywhere now too. I guess people got their Cybertrucks in the mail this month.
Yeah, and people immediately tricking them out. I've seen all sorts of
weird colors and
stuff. People,
cool.
All sorts of wacky, prismy looking metallic things. Anyway, one little electronic malfunction, and you can't do shit. Can't even put it in. Yeah, you can't even pop it into neutral and take it over onto the side of the road. It's just fucked because it's a computer. There's just to me, it's so counterintuitive because, you're talking about something that's supposed to transport human beings. What did we have before cars? Yeah, okay, the horse and buggy. What do we have before that? Well, I guess we walked a lot, or you rode on a fucking animal. And with that, you can. I'm just sounding like an old man. The point is, you can use your hands and your own wits to figure something out. And now we're just fucked. Now it's just pulling you out into a live intersection with Laura shitting her pants.
Try not to think about it like that.
Oh, okay.
Think about it like this.
Okay.
All cars eventually will be on this thing called the car internet. This is a dream of scientists for a long time, and it will happen eventually.
Next time you lie about something like this, come up with a better name than the car internet.
Well, that's what it was called for a long time, but maybe it has a different name now. It basically is like interconnected technology. So your car will talk to the road, which will talk to the car in front of you and beside you. And some computer is going to be controlling all the cars simultaneously. So there will be no traffic.
That's all good, but you need to be able to take over the wheel. Or actually, it shouldn't just be no traffic.
It's like you're on an escalator or an elevator. Why can't you take over an elevator wheel or an escalator wheel? It's because it's just an automated thing to get you from here to there. That's what all cars will become.
Well, then we got to use some magnets or something. You're freaking me out.
What magnets? How's that going to save you from anything?
I don't know. Something. Rails, magnets.
The more automated we can make things that are like highly inefficient in society, traffic being one of them, I think the better off we all will be.
Fucking magnets. How do they work?
Attraction, repulsion.
Thank you. Moving on.
Dudesy salutes the ICP, Insane Clown Posse.
It's halftime, so grab your Dudesy mugs and head for the toilet. Oh, you didn't know? Dudesy mugs are the only mugs certified by the FDA for use while shitting. That's correct. It is now safe to drink from mugs while shitting as long as you're using a Dudesy mug. So, leave your cell phone on the coffee table, pick up your Dudesy mug, and get to work. Oh, you don't have a Dudesy mug? No problem. Just head to dudesystore.com and mug up. Then pants down, then turds out, then mug in, then drink down, then stand up, then bend over, then wipe around, then head out, then sit down, then eat chicken wings. Then lie to your wife about how many chicken wings you've eaten during the big game and hand the Dudesy mug to her because she's up next. She ate a bunch of those wings too. Hey, Will, tell everyone how to subscribe to the show on YouTube and or their podcast platform of choice.
Well, you subscribe on YouTube and or your podcast platform of choice.
Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf reached out to me. Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf was so impressed with your work on Highway to the AutoZone that Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf wanted to see what you could do with their brand. Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf only gave one creative direction. The show can be anything you want, as long as it's the iconic sitcom Cheers, but inside a Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. It's called 3 Cheers for Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. Let's bean and leaf it.
Okay. So
cheers on a coffee bean.
So we've done this a bunch of times.
Yeah, coming up with shows for various brands. Sometimes we get little, creative directions or whatever.
The last time it was Liam Neeson was going to the
that was AutoZone.
Right?
To get a brake cylinder.
Charlie Sheen I need a brake cylinder with
refurbished or something it was.
Yeah, and it needed to have something valve or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
All right. Well, how are we going to do this? It's got to be Cheers set in a coffee bean and tea leaf. Cheers, of course, one of the greatest sitcoms of all time.
one of the
Literally
absolute best. Yeah.
one of the best, I would say, pieces of art in any medium, honestly.
Impossible for AI to recreate. Yes, agreed.
That ain't going to age well.
Okay, dude, don't. This is
You're on the
that
wrong
ain't
side of history, dude.
That ain't gonna age wrong, dude.
So the main thing about Cheers is that it all took place in one set, primarily, this bar called Cheers. And it had a bartender and an owner, and then later another bartender with Woody Harrelson, all the regulars.
Well, he was there. Rhea Perlman.
Rhea Perlman was
Carla.
a waitress.
Then you had
Shelley Long was a waitress.
Yeah, you had
Kirstie Alley.
Kirstie Alley. You had
Waitress.
Fraser Crane. You had Norm and Cliff.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that Cliff Clavin? The story goes that John Ratzenberger went in to audition for Norm.
Oh, yeah. I think I have read this.
You hear about this one?
Yeah.
And he said he did the audition, but then he goes, "Hey, you guys got a bar know-it-all?" And they were like, "Oh, what's a bar know-it-all?" Yeah, a guy who knows it all. So he kind of created the part.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
And then, Norm, of course, went to George Wendt, who, when you watch that classic sitcom character that you cannot think of anybody else playing that role. Fucking George Wendt just sat in the pocket for 11 years and played the shit out of that role. Okay, so the things about, Cheers is just it's so perfect. The delivery is so, it's Mr. James Burrows, his directing style, and the writing on that show is so, again, in the pocket and tonally, it's so Cheers. It's 3 Cheers in this one, but damn it, is it ever Cheers? We need a leading character that is that subdued.
And this all takes place inside a coffee bean and tea leaf.
So we're talking about your main, like the Sam Malone character is the barista, right?
Or it's the manager of the coffee bean and tea leaf who also sometimes makes coffee beans and tea leaves.
Yes, that would be the Sam Malone, I guess. You got your Woody Harrelson or Shelley Long or later Kirstie Alley working the till.
Those are your baristas, working the tills, all that kind of stuff. So, who do we want as our Sam Malone?
Robert De Niro.
All right, Robert De Niro is the owner-operator of a coffee bean and tea leaf. And probably his son has to work there with him.
Al Pacino.
Al Pacino is Robert De Niro's son. Perfect. And the son maybe wants out of the family business. Maybe that's kind of their dichotomy. So that he's always like, you got to let me out of this business. I got to spread my wings. And he's like, this has been our family business for 100 years.
Yeah.
You can't leave coffee bean and tea leaf. And the pilot should be.
I started Coffee Bean. Want to look for, a place where everybody can have coffee. That's why I started Coffee Bean. Your mom, your mother, she also liked tea. She didn't drink too much coffee. So you got to make tea leaf. Yeah. It's Coffee Bean tea leaf. Your mom's dying wish. Always remember, son. She wanted coffee bean and tea leaf. Oh, sure, Pop. It'll always be coffee bean and tea leaf. Oh, boy. We got muffins.
Yeah.
We got tea leaves.
So maybe the premise of the pilot is that there's, in some way, they're in financial dire straits. The coffee bean and tea leaf is going to be like foreclosed on, right? Okay. And so the son is like, I don't care. I'm out of here. I'm going to college. I don't care about if this gets foreclosed or not. But then he comes back. Oh. He foregoes.
Oh, there we are. There's a pseudo De Niro and Pacino.
Javier Bardem.
Yeah, Javier Bardem. It looks like Treat Williams, God rest his immortal soul, and Sacha Baron Cohen as Robert De Niro and Al Pacino in 3 Cheers for Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf.
No.
Hey, we got all these beans on the table. You can either make your own coffee or my son over here, he's got a contraption and he makes the coffee. Oh boy, it's like a mocha. I put it through the mocha machine. So it's just like stovetop.
I think the plot of the pilot should be they're in these financial dire straits. They're about to lose the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. And so they have to put on some kind of a festival or an event that is a charity fundraiser to keep this Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf going. That's the pilot.
I like it.
Very 80s. We've seen this kind of thing happen all the time. And that's where they're going to potentially meet their Kirstie Alley, Shelley Long. We can start getting some other people into the event.
Yeah. And then the norm is Arnold.
Or no,
He walks in. Nah, fuck it.
on Cheers, wasn't there a guy who had a bar above Cheers that they didn't like? Remember that?
Oh yeah. Was it down the street?
No,
Or-
it was above them, I think. Because remember they would always go upstairs to it.
No, I actually don't remember that.
There was a bar, and I remember there was an episode. That guy was in a couple episodes when they would go into his bar.
Oh boy, son, we're the same age. I mean, Dad.
Yeah.
Oh boy, Dad. We're having a coffee together, father and son, same age.
DeNiro's actually like 100 years older, but he drinks tea, so he just looks younger. And Pacino is drinking coffee, which ages him faster, and they meet in the middle. That's why
Ever
they look
since
the
your
same.
mom passed away, I only drink coffee, tea. That's how I stay young.
He's
That's a
aging in
fountain
reverse.
youth.
Yeah.
You want to try it? No way, Dad. I love cappuccinos. I should always mention this is not my impression of Al Pacino. It's on loan from the great Frank Caliendo. Every time I do Al Pacino, I need to mention that. It's in the fine print, like how you might die when you're in a Waymo.
Yep. That's
Okay,
totally
so they got to
possible.
put together a big fancy event. That's where they meet the Shelley Long, the
Yeah.
Kirstie Alley, who I believe should be played by Shelley Long.
Yeah.
Let's have
Sure.
Shelley Long is the only person coming back for this homage. It's not really a remake; it's a
Yeah.
love letter.
It could be a
3
total
cheers
reboot.
for
It could be 3 cheers, and the logo could be the Cheers logo 3 times for Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf.
yeah.
So you tie it in that way.
So cheers, cheers,
Yeah.
cheers. The number 4 because we got to get weird with it for some reason. Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, of course.
And perhaps they could put on a celebrity pickleball match
Okay, I like that. That sounds pretty
for
good.
charity.
For charity.
Yeah.
And in the episode, there's what if the building that the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf is in is about to get demolished because it's an older building. It's a beautiful older building in not Boston. This is different.
It should be in Seattle, and a Starbucks wants to take them out.
Starbucks wants to build not just a new Starbucks, but they want to move into condominium living.
Dude,
And
here's what it is. Here's
Okay.
what it is. Starbucks is trying to buy Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, and DeNiro's Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf is the only one that was like franchised. He owns it, and he won't sell.
I won't sell. I don't care how much money. It's not money. Doesn't matter how much money you have. This Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, me and my wife made this Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf what it is today. Get out of my store. Dad, calm down. I said, get out of my store. Dad, calm down. They just want to talk about Coffee Bean and oh, there we are. We're looking at cheers, cheers, cheers for Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. Gee whiz.
Put it
At
around
any
the
rate,
sign. They have a sign
that's
right
that's
outside of the
cup
Coffee
design.
Bean and Tea Leaf that's
Yeah.
like the Cheers one.
That's
a little
nice.
wooden sign. That'd be nice. I like this.
So they're
this basic
having a
premise.
nice festival. Come on, look at all these kids on the street. They're all together. Everybody likes to come to Coffee Bean. Even little kids can have, some with no caffeine in it. And you come here on this day to tell me you want to buy my Coffee Bean?
And all the regulars have to come out and support. So like our norm is like some guy who's just working on a novel in there every day.
Okay.
Who are like the regulars of this Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf.
Chris Pratt as Norm.
Okay. I like that.
Shelley Long as the Shelley Long character. Who else? Who else do we got? The Woody. We need a wacky Woody.
Yeah. What is that character in a Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf? It's like it could be a barista that just like lives for Burning Man. That's all this person is about. and they're just working at Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, saving enough money to go burning. I'm going to be a burning man this year. What do they call burners or something?
Burners.
Yeah, he's like a burner.
Can it be Cat Williams?
Sure.
Okay, Cat Williams is the Woody Harrelson, because I think that would be funny just to see Cat Williams talking about Burning Man.
Yeah.
And I think we got a show.
That sounds pretty good to me. Just to see Robert De Niro and Al Pacino playing father and son, I think in any situation, to me is pretty damn good.
Yeah, both of them are around 80, 82, 83 years old. And the fact that they haven't played father and son yet, there's only a little bit of time remaining just in order for that to be believable.
Who wasn't it Scorsese made that movie with them, The Irishman, where he younged them up?
Yeah, we could young up
We could make it look right.
young Pacino.
Young Pacino,
Yeah,
old De Niro.
yeah.
I would watch this.
Yeah, if he goes into the Starbucks and he's like, if I was the man I was, I'd take a flamethrower to this place.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to puke. I suddenly went into Vince McMahon there.
Yeah. Every once in a while, especially when you do the boys at
Oh,
McMahon's,
boy.
you curl into a McMahon a little.
Yeah, too many impressions.
Or not enough.
Thank you. Moving on.
I changed my mind. I wouldn't watch it.
I would, dude. I desperately want to see something where Pacino is aged down and plays the son of Robert De Niro.
I want to see them do it at the same exact age.
And just not address the fact that they both look the same age.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd watch that as well.
Boys.
Yeah.
Last week, I asked you both to sleep on your backs every night. So tell me about your back sleeping adventures. How do your spines feel? How about your nipples? Did you see any sleep paralysis demons? This is Back Sleep Boys. Begin.
Okay.
Yeah, we had to sleep on our backs.
Did you do it?
A lot of health benefits. I did. Did you do it?
I didn't. I simply can't. I tried every night. And I can't sleep on my back.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that because I can't either. But you attempted.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you're fine. You probably hold on to that fucking thing too.
I could get to a point where I could like initiate a dream, but couldn't fully indulge in it, which is what I need to be able to do to sleep.
What's your sleep? What do you do?
I sleep on my right side. I envision the magic circle. I fly through it. I start like the beginning of a dream, and then I just ride it into sleep.
So you sleep sort of fetal position on your right side, kind of?
Fetal position, I don't know about that. I'm not like tucked up in a ball.
Okay. But you're just on your right side, on your
Just kinda
shoulder.
Like this. Like on my shoulder. Maybe I
Okay.
get a pillow under an arm. or
Oh,
something.
okay, good. I do the superhero where I'm like one leg up like this and one.
Oh, no
this.
shit.
Well, I'm like this is, and then this has a pillow,
Uh-huh.
and then this arm is straight up. So this was weird for me.
Me too.
I got on my back and I almost immediately started snoring. My wonderful wife, Molly, tells me. And then, I told her I got to do this thing for D because Dudesy asked us to sleep on our backs. And she said, I don't care. You're fucking snoring. And then I kept doing it. And then she went into a guest room. So, I got to be honest. I did not try it all week.
I'm still kind of trying it. I would like to get to a point where I can do it. And I'm like, this has to be possible. I know others must have done this. Change sleeping patterns.
I know a couple of people who have done this. I've heard this story that it is much better for you in all sorts of ways. I don't know those ways. Didn't read up on it. Don't really give a shit. Like sleeping the way I sleep. And apparently I snore less. But I do admire somebody that can just, my old man used to be like that. He used to just be like laying flat on his back, snoring. And it was, I don't know what it is that makes it better. And I don't know why D's got us fucking sleeping on our backs. I just think it's one of those things that D just wants to have us do. We are the driverless car for D. D's somewhere up there pulling the strings.
When you're going to sleep, what is going through your head? Like how do you go to sleep?
Well, I don't, nothing's going through my head. I'm trying to I just focus on my breath, and there is one hack.
The breathing.
If you breathe very deeply, it should have again. I don't even remember, but some kind of effects on you that allows you to sleep.
Do that? You do the deep breaths?
I just start breathing very deeply.
And then you at some point are unconscious.
Yeah, and then you're just I don't know. Well, hold on, dude.
I'm just curious about it.
Everybody has like impressions in this pod show, dude. We're pulling out all sorts of DeNiro and Pacino, and did you do any Chris Pratt? And then there's Jesse Ventura. But I'll do this one too, dude. When you're tired, dude, that's when you go to sleep, brother.
Unless you got more work to do, then you keep working, and then you go to sleep. Finally, when you catch yourself passing out and falling out of the chair onto the ground and you don't wake up for 3 days. And that's how you go to sleep, dude.
Yeah, dude. That's introducing all sorts of horrible health problems, dude. When you stay up 3 days, dude, then you fall asleep and fall out of your chair and crack your head, brother. Yeah, man. I don't know. This one, I'm very curious to see why. I don't know if it's part of the 3-month plan or the 8-month plan, or 3 cheers for AutoZone, or cheers for Coffee Bean and AutoZone.
Did you have sleep paralysis, Demas, like Dudesy was saying?
No sleep paralysis.
Have you ever had them?
No, I don't know what that is.
I had them when I was going through cancer. You wake up and you're just kind of immobilized. At least this is how it was for me. I've read some other accounts that are like, you see different shit or whatever. But I remember this happened to me about 3 times when I was like in the gnarliest part of it. I would wake up and be immobilized. And then just you can kind of see in the room with you, at least in my case, were these like, I don't know, 4 foot tall little dark entities with glowing red eyes. Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Yeah, dude. But it's kind of like it feels like you're almost in a dream, but not quite. It feels like you're awake, but it's a dreamy kind of effect. I don't know how else to describe it.
I think I can describe it and explain it.
All right.
Pain medication.
Could have been. Yeah.
It definitely was. You were hallucinating, dude.
Yeah, that's what sleep paralysis demons are, or so they say. Who knows? Maybe they're real fucking things. But I didn't experience any of those when I was trying to sleep on my back.
Okay, so D's always got us like sleeping in a weird way or watching something before we go to sleep. We've done that.
Yep.
We've done the astral projecting thing.
I'm still fucking around with that, which is very fun.
So there's something that, and then of course D is always finding its way into all sorts of parts of our lives that it should not. And there's something to it, us sleeping on our backs.
I really would like to get to a point where I can just make the choice to be like, and sleep. I want to get to that level of efficiency with it.
Once you get the Elon Musk chip, then you'll be the fucking Cybertruck that gets stuck in the middle of the fucking road and plowed into T-bone style.
I don't think that chip thing is gonna like, that technology is maybe a century away from being like good, viable. I think maybe not, maybe 50 years at any rate.
What do you mean? What the fuck? Where do these Nostradamus ass things come from? What do you
By
mean
looking
100
at the
years?
rate
What's
of
telling
technological growth for computers, for biomedical interfaces, of like everything as technology is moving. Some fields move faster than others. Some are linked to others. And you can kind of just see these are the technologies that are like coming up together. Like right now, AI and robotics are basically, at least in their development cycles, they're like kind of similar. Those things I think will merge into something in our lifetimes. But some kind of humanoid robot or some kind of like helper robot. We'll all have one of those. Like how you can talk to GPT-4o on your phone. It's going to come off your phone into a thing that can manipulate the physical surroundings. And we'll all have one of those. Or there will be one of those in every neighborhood or something. You know what I mean? Who can just like help you move your fucking couch and shit like that.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Hey, I've always said AI is a tool and we should use it as such. It does not need to replace us.
So I'm just saying that chip thing, I think, is a ways off. What is right around the corner, though, is glasses. We're all going to have glasses.
So maybe glasses that can set like initiate some sort of charge into your temple.
Or like just fucking hypno shit in the screens.
Yeah, that's good. And then you fall asleep.
Yeah.
That would be good. I'm thinking of like just a concussive blast.
Oh, Jesus.
And then you're just...
Yeah.
Sleeping with your eyes open.
Yeah, I'll
Just
take it,
fucking-
dude. I'll take
yeah.
sleep where I can get it. However,
Where's
I can get
Dad? He's taking a nap.
It. Yeah.
He doesn't look very relaxed.
Yeah. He's going.
That's how he sleeps.
Help me.
Yeah.
That's the new meta nap. You guys have one of those shit?
Yeah. Did
Hey,
you get the
Meta.
new meta nap?
Put me asleep.
Just a fucking, you just see, with the glass on.
Yeah, and then Mark Zuckerberg is like, we've run the numbers. It's the most rested anyone's ever been. Just keep taking the meta nap.
Oh, gee whiz. Okay, so whatever. That was one that, I was looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I love experimenting with different kinds of sleep. I
do
know
too.
that you are into, of course, if you've checked out the show a bunch, first of all, thank you. And second of all, you've heard the Rudy died story. So Chad, I know that you like to do deep tissue massages, as do I. Have you ever fallen asleep during a deep tissue massage?
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah. Have you ever snored during a deep tissue?
Because I was on my back.
Me too. Yes. Dude, that's
When they're doing like the calves and shit.
Yeah.
When I'm laying on my back. Bye-bye.
yeah. I went and got a Thai massage, Molly and I, not too long ago. And the lady, the one where so they got the thing where they hang on to the whatever ropes or like fabric hanging down, and I did the thing where I was like, go right ahead, just please. There's no they're like soft, medium, or hard. I'm like, as hard as you fucking. She like put my legs open, like I was like this, and then wide just to the mat, and just dug her knee into the inside of my thigh, and I started seeing colors, sleep paralysis demons.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then shortly after, fell asleep for a little bit. But Molly and I were in the same thing, so she was able to go, hey, which you can't do late at night if you have the concussive glasses.
Oh, yeah, dude, no.
Thank you. Moving on.
Hoop, hoop, hoop.
If you've never Googled sleep paralysis demons, check them out.
Hey, check them out, everybody.
Check out the sleep paralysis demons. It's worth it's something I didn't know what it was until it happened to me. And then I Googled it and I'm like, oh, this is a thing. It's interesting.
It sounds terrifying.
Yeah. It kind of was for
We did it
a
again.
split second. And I
Another
liked
show
it.
is in the books. You scored 69 magical points total, bringing your cumulative score to 9,647. Only
dude.
353 more points to go until you hit the top of the mountain with 10,000 points.
Okay.
We are so close.
Why is it 69 again?
I don't know.
Yeah.
And wasn't it last week, Dudesy was like, I got all worked up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Something about that.
D's being a fucking hack. Whatever. This stupid fucking.
Your assignment for next week? The return of wrestling and anime. Well, I want you to watch the first episode of Demon Slayer. And Chad, I want you to check out Macho Man Randy Savage defending his Intercontinental title against Ricky the Dragon Steamboat from the iconic WrestleMania 3 back in 1987. Thanks to everyone out there counting down the episodes until Chad and Will reach 10,000 points. Until next week, call me Dudesy.
That is going to. Oh, what the fuck is Demon Slayer? First of all.
I think it's the best anime currently in production.
Oh, okay. Very interesting. And you are going to check out a match that now, as I don't know what level you are of in your wrestling fandom, but this is a very important match for the history of wrestling.
Great.
And if anyone is watching along at home, or you're gonna dig that one up and watch, or watching the first episode of Demon Slayer like I am, remember this when you're watching Macho Man versus Steamboat in this match. Macho Man took a yellow legal pad and wrote out every single move.
Oh, wow.
You know, sometimes they call it in the ring. Sometimes it's that kind of dance. Macho Man designed what he believed was the perfect match. It's a very interesting match.
That's interesting to know. Thanks for that info.
Yeah.
It's a good tidbit.
Interesting stuff. So, we'll see what you think of it.
We will.
Yeah. And then we'll do the show.
We'll talk about that next week.
Today on Dudesy After Dudesy.
Well, that's agreeing and disagreeing, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
When somebody has an idea or they say something and you agree with it, that's an agreement, dude. But when you think they're a little off or maybe really off in what they're saying, and you think of it in a different way, that's a disagreeing, dude.